Hi everyone, it is Diane. I'm back again. Surprise! I hope everybody's doing well. We're pretty good here. I'm fighting a little bit of a sinus cold, so excuse the raspy voice, please. And I am so happy you are here. If you're returning to my channel, welcome back. I'm glad that you came back and put up with some more of my shenanigans. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you find some inspiration or an idea maybe, that you were kind of looking for but didn't know quite how to do it. So, one thing I've learned on my YouTube channels is the nice thing, YouTube gives you statistics on what people enjoy or what they view the most on your channel. And so I don't follow that a whole lot because I'm making these cards for fun. I'm going to make them regardless. I'm just sharing ideas with my friends, and you're welcome to join along or not. And one thing that I noticed when I was reviewing over the weekend, because I was like, what, I don't really know what people like the most, is that I get more views on my videos that are fun folds or fancy fold, whatever you want to call them. So we're going to do a fun fold today. What I don't really know yet is if viewers prefer to use more of their stamps in their card designs or the paper. There's so many beautiful printed papers out there. If you're in a hurry, and we've done this, where the paper does most of the work for you. And today I'm using mostly the paper. Actually, I've shortcutted a lot of stuff today. I have a couple of these little labels left from some paper pumpkins. I'm trying to use up little bits and pieces that I have on my desk, because I always seem to throw the bits up here, and then I have a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't, like this die. I still haven't found what set this die is from. That's going to drive me nuts. I think it's a Christmas set. But, like from one of our card classes, I had a little extra bow. So I throw them in my dishes up here because I know I can use them. But then I go on and I make something else and I don't use them. We're going to use them. So anyways, I pulled out one of these little labels. Some of them were stamped. Some of them you could stamp whatever you want to. If you don't have pre-made labels, or I know Tim Holtz has those little stickers. Oh, there's a pink bow. That. There's a pink bow. But we're not using pink today. Oh, but we are using Mossy Meadow, and there's some green twine. Oh, there's more green twine. Stuff everywhere. I'm telling ya. Tim Holtz has those little stickers that you can use. I've used them when making my journals, but you can use them on cards too. Or you could stamp your own and whatever label die you want to use. Just do that. You could use just white cardstock on the section of the card that we're going to put our greeting today and stamp your message right on that white cardstock. But as I said, I'm going to use some of my little bits that are laying around. So my fun fold, I found, this was from Mary Ann Cowan, or Cohen, I'm not quite sure, I don't really want to butcher your name. As she said, this was not her idea, but I did watch her video to make this fun fold, so I want to give her credit. Give credit where credit is due. And I have all my little bits cut already because I was trying to save a minute, but you know what happens then? I lose them. Under there, please. So here's our fun fold card. And this is going to fold over like so and fit into a regular sized envelope. And do I have one here? I do. So this is just a scrap paper. I was practicing my measurements. We're obviously not going to use just a piece of copy paper, but this will fit into your envelope. If you don't have printed paper, or if you watch my channel, you know that I'm a former Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so we always call it designer series paper, and I have a ton of it, so that's why I like to use it. But if you don't have designer series paper or some lightweight scrapbook paper, you can always make your own. I'm working on a card for my card group this week, as a matter of fact. I did make some of my own paper, but I didn't have 12 by 12 sheets, and I did it on an 8.5 by 11, and I think it's going to have a, I finally got my 12 by 12s. I think it'll have a different effect on the 12 by 12. You can stamp your own. I'll show you one of them. Maybe. Oh, there they are. This is the hard part when I have stamp class. I have everything in baskets ready to go. So I did this one, and I created my own background paper for that, as well as this one. Oh, that's for my sister. I'll tell her. And this one. So these background papers, I made all of them. They're not just, scrapbook paper. You can do that. So easy if you want to use your stamps. Please enjoy the craft. All my stamp sets for Thursday are going to fall over there. So anyways, today, let's get on with this. I'm using some Rustic Harvest paper. This is some old Stampin' Up! Paper I had. I decided to go with the green. This green is called Mossy Meadow. And we're going to do it on a white card base. I'm going to use a heavier cardstock because we do have several folds in here, which is going to tend to weaken the card a little bit, so I'm going to use a heavier base. And I need to cut this 8 by 5.5. So 8 by 5.5. I cut all my little bits, but I didn't cut this because this is where we have to do all of our fun fold cutting and scoring. Kind of the important part to show you. And then I'm going to turn my trimmer this way, only because I can't fit the whole thing on camera lengthwise. And at least this way you can kind of see the numbers, or you can zoom in if you need to. Okay, so on the landscape side, or the long side, I'm going to put this on the top of my my scorer trimmer, and I'm going to score this at 2 and 6. I'm making sure that I have my cutting blade up here out of the way. So at 2 inches, I need to score, and at 6 inches, did that score okay? I need to score. Okay, now between these two score lines that we just made, we're going to cut only in between. And so at 1 1/4 inches, now I need my trimming blade. Any of you guys have this and your scoring blade always falls out? Mine always comes out. 1 1/4. Take this down to my score line and cut it down to the next score line. Stop. I'm going to turn it around again, just so it's easier for you to see. And at 1 1/4 again. 1 1/4. Harder for me to see. I'm going to start on my score line and cut up to other score line. And stop. Put my scoring blade out of the way. Now I need to go back onto this long side or the landscape side. And I need, excuse me, where am I at? I lost my place when I coughed. How about that? Score at 2 6 and we cut at 1 1/4. Right. Okay. So now between these two cut lines, we have to score again at 3 inches. Bring that up to my cut line. Score to the next cut line. Okay. Move it over to 5. Score in between my cuts again. See, that blade keeps coming out. Stop it. Stay in there. Score. Score. Okay. And now I need a score line in the center where our card normally would fold, which will be at 4 inches, but I only want it on the top section and the bottom section. So above the cut line, below the cut line at 4 inches. This is really, oh, I moved my cardstock. Really not a hard card to make. And then above my cut line, all right, and that's pretty much it. So before we fold, I'll give you the dimensions of the little pieces of cardstock that we're going to need to decorate our card with. I'm using Mossy Meadow, excuse me, and this is 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. Those are going to go here. And then some of my cardstock from the Happy Harvest paper is at 1, and I'm checking my measurements here because I don't remember. That's 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. So 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. Then for our center section, we're going to use 2 1/2 by 3. That's going to kind of stand up in here. Oops, is it that way? Yeah. And hopefully it's going to fit in between those cut lines. 2 1/2 by 3. And 2 3/8 by 2 7/8. Oh, and you know what? I'm thinking I should have cut. Does that look funny? See, it looks like that paper, it doesn't really have a direction. It did look like it for a minute, but I guess it's my imagination. Then we'll need 4 small pieces to go on these. And these are 1 7/8 by 1 1/8. And this is in that same package of paper. It's just a different pattern. I didn't want it to look too matchy-matchy. No. Now, when I watched Mary Ann do her card, her one example, she did not put cardstock on the side areas, but I would like to do that. And so I measured those at 3/4 of an inch by 2 1/2 inches. I hope. Oh, that's right. This is going to stand up a little bit. I was going to say that doesn't look like it fits there, but it will. So I also had on my desk, I have a piece of this old coppery mesh ribbon. I might add that to my, and now that I found this green twine, I might add a piece of that to my center. And for anyone who's watched me for a while, you know that when I die cut, I love to make extra die cut pieces and then just keep them in an envelope. And then when I'm in a hurry or I need something just a little extra on my card and I'm not quite sure what, I pull those die cuts out, and so often they come in handy. Something like that. You know, so that's just I mean, one bad thing is you have to have something to store your extra pieces in. And the other bad thing is when you pull this out and you're thinking, oh, I really like that. Where did I have that die cut? What's that set from? I don't always have them labeled. But whatever, you know, it works. The good thing is you always have little bits, you know. So decide if it's a pro or a con for you to have those little bits ready. I just saw a little piece of vellum in there I thought would be nice. Come here, little leaf. Oh, I think I like that better than that. Can I find another one? Yes, I can. Well, lucky day. I think I like that. Lovely. And you know, then you can always add more if you want to. You can always add more to your sides. You could cut another panel of white and add to this side, each side layer, if you want to stamp more, more of your greeting, more message. We're also going to have a solid white back, so we can always use the back of this card to, you know, put our signature, maybe write a little note, or if it's not somebody you necessarily want to write a long note to, problem solved. Not a lot of room on the front. So let's put it together. Oops, I have to put this little guy away. It's probably saying, use me, use me. Not on this one, I don't think. Thanks anyway. Another day, little leaf. And you know what'll happen? I'll want that little leaf one day, and I won't be able to find it. Oh, so what's everybody working on? And what do you like? Do you like cards where we do a lot of stamping, or do you? I'll move this over so we can see how we're putting this together. Or do you like cards where we let the paper do a lot of the work for us? I like them both. My problem is time. You know, when I want to, whoops, when I want to play with my stamps, I don't want to be rushed. I want to be able to sit in my craft room and just enjoy it and pull out every little thing. And I don't always have those days, so sometimes it has to be just the quick pattern paper route for me. Look at a little hair on there, a little fuzzy ball. Get off of there. So did everybody have a great weekend? We didn't do too much. I cannot get that off of there. I didn't. There we go. Saturday was just yucky. House cleaning day. So those layers are together. So we need to put this together. We know we want the middle section to pop up. So fold these two folds. Oh, I'm saying pop up, so I'm folding them the wrong way. What a ding dong. This is going to have to fold up on our center, and I start gradually with everything and kind of coax my paper to go where I want it to go. These two panels on the side are going to lie flat. And then once I have everything the way I want it to go, I will be able to do a nice crease in there and use my bone folder without risking having something bend in the wrong direction. I did stop after church yesterday and I got mums for my front porch. These are the biggest mums I think I've ever seen. The plants. Flowers are a little bit more of a spidery mum looking thing, which I don't mind. I think they're beautiful. They're a bright yellow, so they stand out real pretty. I was very excited though. Got home and stuck them right out front in the crocks by the front door. They look so pretty, so happy. Can flowers look happy? Flowers make me happy. Come on, come in. Over here so I can crease you. I need to get this done today, and what didn't I create? Oh, these. We're getting ready for my class party this coming Sunday, so I have a lot of stuff I gotta finish up for that. Okay, and then you can make your flaps go to either side of your card. I guess I need to score these then, so they will be nice and flat. All right. And there's going to be our pop-up card. Our little committee met last week and finalized our decisions on table decorations and things of that nature. And so, have some stuff to finish prepping for that. Finish printing off name tags. I know everybody's excited to have their high school senior picture pinned to their chest because they were always so flattering, right? I was never really happy with mine. It was okay, but you know, I always felt like the other girls were so much prettier. And it's weird that I'm even helping with this. I was not a popular kid in school by any stretch of the imagination. I was more the nerdy type. I wasn't in very many cliques. I wasn't in any cliques that I know of. Didn't come from a well-to-do family or anything, so a lot of school activities. I was in several. You know, I was on our bowling team, and what we had back then was bleacher bums. We used to go to the games and root the teams on, and try high Y, and I helped with a couple of the school plays, but never in them. Never really wanted to be in the limelight. So mostly I've gotten more involved because I know some of the girls from since we have graduated, you know, and it's so different meeting up with everybody as an adult rather than in school. I wish so many of the kids who are struggling through school and with maybe bullying or feeling inadequate or having some ego issues, you know, not having much self worth, not feeling like they belong. I do wish there was a way to explain to them that when they graduate, none of it's going to matter. Those people who were your friends in school will always be your friends. There's one girl, and I mean, we've been out of school for it'll be 47 years because we're working towards our 50th class reunion. And no matter where we go through life, Laura and I always seem to run into each other. You know, whether it's one or the other of our jobs as when we were still working or whatever. And we are both on this school committee this year to help get the kids back together. But Laura's been a true friend. We've just always somehow found each other, not even looking. But there are people like that. And then there are kids in school who, look at that, how cute. Now remember, when we put this on, it's going to overhang on each side a little bit. So you don't want to put adhesive clear to the end. And I think, let's do a dimensionals on the back of this since my designs are pretty much going to be flat. Do I want to put that on while it's still flat? No, let's put this on first and then we'll add our little doodads. Yeah, so some of those kids in school where I always thought, oh, I wish I was more like them. I wish I could have been their friend. They snubbed me, whatever. No, we don't even know where they're at. Sad to say, you know? But like I said, those few friends that were my friends in school, they're still around. We still stay in touch once in a while. And then the other girls, as I said, that I didn't really know too much in school, but we got reacquainted outside of school as adults. And they're wonderful, wonderful friends. You couldn't ask for nicer people to be in your life. So, you know, if you have students that are struggling there, let them know that the world changes. And hopefully it will get better for them. I know what it's like to not always fit in. But okay. I like this. This is super fun. Let's put this little coppery ribbon here and some green twine. You know, and on the other side of that too, I mean, I hope my kids always were aware, excuse me, were aware of maybe students in their class who needed someone to be their friend, you know, and included them. I like to think that they did that. I hope, you know, we don't always know what our kids do when they're in school and we're not right there watching them, but I'm really hoping that they were kind. Wrap around here, twine. Oh wait, I want a bigger one. What am I doing? Here we go. Dropping it all over, that's what I'm doing. I was really wishing I had, well, I'm using the vellum. I was going to say, I was really wishing I'd had a couple of leaves cut out of maybe foil paper, but I think I've used most of them, if not all of them. I think I will figure out where my Celebrate Today is going to go and put my vellum leaves on the back of this with some glue dots. Forgot to put my pin back in my glue bottle. I could have this hanging over to the side a little bit. That might be nice, huh? Instead of right in the center. Okay, add a few more glue dots on the back of this. These are just some glue dots, again, that I had left over out of paper pumpkins. They were in my little bin here with my foam dimensionals, and oh, get off my finger. Obviously, this was from a kit that had tiny pieces because these are tiny dots. My goodness. I know I had a comment on one of my videos about the glare being hard for them to see what I was doing. And we were using foil paper in that video, so I do apologize. Foil paper is very hard, and I know my lighting is not the best. To be honest, I don't know anyone who doesn't struggle with lighting. And if there's a solution, I'd love for you to share that with me. I just want some bigger glue dots here, because there we go. It's going to take me a month of Sundays. Ooh, don't go clear to the end, D. Remember, I'm hanging it over the edge. I don't even know what this fold is called. This is kind of just like a center pop-up. Ooh, maybe I should have used a dimensional there because of all that string and stuff underneath. Oh, I guess so. Okay. I wasn't going to pop up that part, but I guess I will. After I struggled to get glue dots. While I'm up here, I will make one of my 12 by 12 sheets for Thursday to share with the ladies. Show them what we can do. Yeah. Pretty, huh? And it stands up. And we have room on the back where we can write our message. I get this scored a little bit, burnished a little bit better, I guess. It'll lay flatter. Yes. And it will fit in our envelope. course, you might need another hand to hold the flaps down for you, but don't get stuck. Maybe I should do it this way. I don't have as many flaps to fit in them. I was gonna say I couldn't possibly have lied. My dimensions are the same as the other cards. There we go. Yay. See? I told the truth. It does fit. There we have it, everybody. There's a center pop-up card. That's not really difficult at all, and you can do that. So thanks for joining me, and stop back next week and we'll do something else. Leave some comments down below there and let me know, do you want to do some more stamping, or do you like doing cards with the pretty paper? Do you enjoy fun folds, or do you want to do the traditional? We can do 5x7, slimline card, whatever you like. Just making cards and trying to share what I do. I will see everybody next time. Thank you. Bye.